Hey Paul, the first flow that we're looking at today is the promoter submitting a change request and the HA granting that change request with a duration challenge.
Okay, let's have a quick look. We might be a bit rusty here because we've not looked at this stuff for a little while, but let's see how we get on. So this is all the existing stuff. So we'll just look at this very briefly. I'm the promoter. I request a change. As part of this change request, I am changing my end dates. So I go in, change that. Lovely stuff. I ask for, 2 extra days, 5 extra days, whatever it might be. I submit that change request. So now it goes over to the Highway Authority to view the change requests. So there it is, awaiting assessment. So I go into that and I'm going to grant this with duration challenge. So this is all existing functionality. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to challenge it down all the way back or part of the way back. So just to put this into context, we wanted to give you this existing journey. So go ahead, Kristen. So now I'm the promoter and I've already got this granted with duration challenge filter on the change request page. So I've got this job that's just been challenged. So I'm going to go into this now. Okay, so let's have a look now at that. If you scroll down for me on the change request, we get to the bottom and we see we got 2 options. As the promoter, I can now accept or not accept that duration challenge. So if we start with acceptance, not super exciting. It goes on to the record there, and that's kind of the end of that. You've accepted that duration challenge and recorded it. So more interesting probably is if I am not accepting the duration challenge. So I say not accept. I have to give a reason, of course, if I'm not accepting it, whatever that might be. And if we move on. So I'm now the Highway Authority this time, and that's put the ball back in my court. So I now need to go in and I've got 2 choices: change reasonable period end date, yes or no. So if I say yes to change the reasonable period end date, that means that in some way or other, I am partially agreeing at least to this change of date. So I've listened to the promoter's views. And I can now go in, and what we've done is come up with this concept of just telling users the range of dates available. It's a confusing area for people, with the reasonable period end date, the permit end date. So we're telling you these are the range of dates that you can choose from, right back to the original date or to the permit end date, basically. So I can go for in the middle, I can grant the whole thing, whatever it might be. So I'll say, the 21st here or whatever. I fill that in. I give a reason why I've done that. That's as much for my record keeping as anything else. Submit that decision. And there you go. You've got that Highway Authority response recorded below the promoter response now. So we're keeping that record of who did what and why. Okay. So now, of course, it goes back to the promoter and they've got a couple of options. So they can either accept or not accept the duration challenge response at this point. So if we just look at accept, they've been given the 22nd. We don't let it go back through another duration challenge process. This is a one-off process. We don't. That's a big thing. We don't want that tennis going back and forward. So here I accept. So if we go back to the Highway Authority now, Kristen, and this time change reasonable period end date. No, I've heard what you got to say, but I'm happy with my decision. Thanks for your input. So I'm going to say no, and We've seen you working or not working on site. We have, don't think your reason is valid. The weather's been fine, whatever it might be. So we say no to that, submit our decision. That's recorded as you'd expect. So now I'm the promoter again, and I can view that response. And again, I can accept or not accept that. So this time I will not accept. Works will continue to granted permit end date. So this is the true spirit of duration challenges, if you like. I'm going to crack on site, and then we'll have a grown-up conversation about it. If we end up with Section 74 charges, I'll present my evidence. And of course, as you would expect, that's all included. Okay, well, let's go over then to immediate works. And I just wanted to call out very briefly that it's all the same for immediate works. We don't need to look at the flows or anything. It's the same concept. If you scroll down, it's actually on the permit here rather than the change request, because obviously there is no change request for immediate works. This just came in already in progress, but we treat it differently on the project. We do the work in the API for immediate works and also the planned works, but there's no difference to the journeys. It's the same thing that we're building. Okay, well, I hope that was useful, guys, and see you soon, no doubt.